Hey everyone, welcome to YouTube Mommy Meetup. I'm Dana, Miss Diaper D from the Diaper Dirt channel, and we are here in another live hangout. And I'm going to introduce my co-host first, Diana from Being Mommy with Style. We want to go ahead and say hello to everybody.
Hey everyone.
And then also Amy from Dream Flight 6000. She had to step away for it. She had a crying. She's going to with us tonight, and I'm channel name, also what you do there, maybe how many kids you have.
Sorry, my sound was just going weird.
Mine was also.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were.
Your voice, Dana, was like cutting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Well, Heidi, you want to go ahead and introduce
Sure.
yourself?
Hi, I'm HeidiKim from HeidiKim TV, which is my parenting channel. I talk about cloth diapers and breastfeeding and general raising of a child. And then I also have a daily vlogging channel called Sudden Impact. And I have one adorable little 21-month-old at home.
Well, thanks for being here with us, Heidi. And Jackie, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and your channel?
Hi, I'm Jackie, and my channel is Enjoying Life's Journey. And I post videos Tuesday through Friday, basically on my journey of how I'm balancing personal well-being, so anything from fitness and health and beauty to nurturing all of my relationships. I'm married, and we have 2 daughters. One is 4, and the other one is 3 months. And then we also go just household and business management. So basically just trying to balance it all and sharing that journey with you. And I have a second channel as well, and it's just for my dogs. And that one is Enjoying Life with Pit Bulls, because I have 2 pit bulls, and I'm trying to show the world that they are great family pets. So it's a little bit about me.
How long have you been on YouTube?
I've been on and off of YouTube probably about 5 years. I used to own a dance studio, so I had a channel just for, choreography and things like that. And then my husband and I started doing motorcycle riding, so we were trying to do videos on that. And then I decided to just do family one this year. I started basically after my daughter was born. So.
Okay, great. And I know, Heidi, you've been on YouTube for a while. How many years have you been on, Heidi?
About 3 years since I started my parenting channel. And then before that, I had a makeup channel that was not very good. But
everybody's going to be searching for it now.
Yeah, it's still there. The videos are still up, but they're not. I'm not the proudest of those moments.
All right, well, tonight we're going to talk about cameras and computers and editing programs and tech stuff for YouTube. So it should be a really fun hangout. We have some questions in the Facebook group, in the YouTube Mommy Meetup Facebook group that were put up, and I see some comments already here on the video. But first I wanted to make a couple announcements. The first one is that we do now have a YouTube Mommy Meetup shop. So if you're looking for some Mommy Meetup shirts, you can go there. It's at YTMM.spreadshirt.com, so you can go there to check that out. It just opened yesterday, so that will be up permanently. It's not going to go down, so we'll always have that shop available. And also our Twitter team is available tonight, and we have our new Twitter team leads. We have Crystal from Brought to You by Mom, and also Anne-Marie from It's Just My Life CA. They're our Twitter team leads, along with the other 8 Twitter team members. You can go to YouTube Mommy Meetup .com/Twitter to see a list of all of the Twitter team members. So that's going on. Just use hashtag YTMM. And we're going to get started with the first question about cameras. But first, before we do that, I wanted to go through and sort of say what everybody uses for a camera. So let's sort of just talk about that. If you have 1 camera, 2 cameras, and what you use them for. So Amy, did you want to go first?
Sure. I use a Canon Vixia. It's a nice camera. It was like $400 about in 2010. Bought it, and it has really good quality. I really like it. And then recently I've been using my Samsung Galaxy Note 4, and I love that also.
Okay, that's great. You've been using it since 2010. That's awesome. It's been doing well since then.
Yeah.
Diana, what do you use?
I have a plethora of cameras, so I pretty much just use these point and shoot cameras to do vlogging, and I pretty much stick with Canon cameras. I find that they work really well. This is an ELPH 340. I also have a 115 and an SD 2500, I believe, and they're kind of just I bump my old cameras down to backups, and then I get new ones when I need to. And then for my sit-down reviews, I use DSLR Nikon D3100.
Okay. Do you have any attachments for your camera? I guess you should talk about that too. Do you have it? You just have a tripod and that's it? No other special attachments on it? External mic?
For my sit-down camera, we have different lenses and stuff for it, but I just keep one specific lens on it when I'm filming. And then we have a tripod, and I have the lights and everything. But for this little guy, when I'm vlogging, it's just me holding this. That's it.
Okay. You don't have the long pole. All right.
I don't have the vlogging pole, though my husband keeps joking with me that if we keep going to Disney World, I'm going to have to get the vlogger stick, as he calls it.
How about you, Heidi? What kind of cameras do you have going on?
So we use one of the Canon ELPH PowerShots too. We have the 330, and I don't have the vlogging pole, but I've got this tiny little tripod, which I didn't think to bring over this way. This tiny little tripod that I use when we're vlogging to help keep my steady hands or unsteady hands a little bit more steady. And then that's it. That's what I use for my sit-down vlogs too. We used to use like the first generation flip cameras, and I'm looking into a DSLR and hoping to get a GoPro too.
Okay, great. Jackie, how about you? What are you using?
Good. The camera I'm on now is a Nikon D7000, so I use that one for most of my sit down. I don't have any special attachments, just a normal tripod. And then for vlogging, I just been using this Panasonic, but this is the old camera and the lens is scratched. So if I'm shooting in sunlight, you can really see that squiggle over my face, which is frustrating. But then I do have an adventure type camera, which is a Contour Plus, and this one looks like it's kind of crazy, but it goes on our motorcycle helmets, and it has a fisheye, so you can kind of see more of what's going on around you. So I like that one, but the mic doesn't really pick up when you're talking that much, so that's the downfall.
How's it go on your motorcycle helmets? Do you just screw it on your helmet? Did you get a special attachment?
Yeah, there's an attachment. There's these grooves in the side, and it just clips. It clips on. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. Well, I use a Canon T3i DSLR for almost all my videos, and I like it because it has the flip out, the screen that flips out. So when you set it up, you can see yourself filming, which I find to be so much easier as a YouTuber when you can see yourself to see what you're filming. And so almost every video that I have that I sit down in, I'm using that camera. And then I also bought this Canon ELPH 500. I got this for vlogging purposes, just to throw in my purse and take around with me. And for when I was in the hospital giving birth, I brought this with me. And I have the Gorilla tripod. I think this is kind of like what you were talking about, Heidi. I don't know if you have the same one, but how you have something that kind of screws in the bottom so I can hold it steady and just kind of hold it out straight. But I don't like it because I can't see myself when I'm filming. So when I'm filming, it's like the screen is away from me. It doesn't pop out, and it makes it hard because I have no idea like how close, what I'm filming or who's in the frame. So it makes it tough. But other than that, I like it. So those are mine.
Yeah, that's the exact same tripod I have, and that's my biggest complaint about it too, about that camera, is that I can't see, and usually I'm filming by myself, so I'll set it up and assume I can see my face, and just this week I had to refilm a video because like half of my head was cut off. It's
exactly.
So frustrating.
It is. I wish they had like a compact, PowerShot camera where I don't know if they do or not, where it would flip out, because it makes it really tough. Because I was filming at a meetup with Jendi from Jendi's Journal, and she's shorter than me. I don't know, and I was filming, and she's like all cut off. You can only see like the top part of her head, because I didn't know, even though I had my arm all the way extended. It's just, so I really wish that you could flip out the screen to see.
Yeah, that's the downside. My Nikon, it doesn't flip out like the Canon, so I don't like that. So usually what I end up doing is I'll have my daughter stand on the chair that I'm going to be sitting in, and I have to focus on her, put it on manual, and then I can go over there and set myself up. So she's kind of like part of my setup routine. And then the contour, same thing. You can't see what you're filming, even in the back. You can't see it all until you download it. So that's kind of, I agree, that's frustrating.
Do any of you guys have the remote focuser for your DSLR? Do you guys use those?
I do. I have it. It's like, yeah, because I have to plug it in though, and then the cord comes out of my camera, and then I have to hold it, and then it's supposed to be to take the picture, but if I hold it down halfway, it'll focus.
It focuses. Yeah, that's what I do. I forgot about that part. I focus. Yeah.
My problem is if I hook it up, then the kids run over and start yanking on the cord. You know what I mean? Because it's like from the camera to me, and then they're always around when I'm filming, so they start grabbing on it. But otherwise, it's a great thing to have. Yes. Okay, all right, so I see some comments. Amy, do you have your comments up? Did you want to feature some of the comments that are going on right now, or do you want me to bring them up?
Yeah, you can bring them up.
Okay, all right, I see that Sarah from Sensational Finds is here. She says, hi, guys. So, hello. Let me see here. It looks like Sublime Jen says that she loves you, Heidi. Love HeidiKim.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And Super Susie Homemakers here says hello, ladies. So we got some friends here. We got Tyne from La Ava's mom says hello, everyone. How are you? This looks like there's some good conversation already happening within the comments outside of even what we're talking about in here, which I always think is great. Just have your own conversation within the comments. And I know the Twitter team is active, so we're going to get to some of those questions too. Don't forget to leave your questions on Twitter or also comment with them, and we're going to try to get to them. And why don't you go ahead and read the first question that we do have from the Facebook group, though, Diana, if you have it up.
All right, great, I do. So the first question for the Facebook group is from Debbie, and I don't have a channel name here, but she asks, what budget-friendly camera would you recommend? So is there any, like, one budget-friendly, like, what's the best price you can get for a really good camera to vlog with?
Yep, that's a good question. I know that I did buy the PowerShot because we asked in the group what like everybody liked, and this one, because I got like the 500, which I think is like the older model, it was on like clearance on Amazon, so I got a really good price. So I think if you just get like something that's a good camera but an older model and look on Amazon, you might be able to get a good deal. But I don't know. Anybody else have anything that comes to mind?
My backup camera
Diana,
that I got
do you have
for
anything?
Disney World last time was a Canon, and it was the A2500. I got it on a super sale on Amazon for like $59. So definitely keep checking Amazon for deals.
And you guys are saying all these 8500 DSLR with all these numbers. Is that like also a camera?
Lost?
Well, you know, are these like actual like cameras that you take pictures with? Like mine's a Canon also, but it's like what?
I understand. You're saying there's a video camera versus a camera.
Like
right?
I don't know if anyone uses a video camera. Like it's like, am I like ancient using this?
I've always wondered what it would be like to do like taking video with a video camera, because you're actually like using what it's meant to do. You know, like I'm using.
So your guys are actual cameras, like picture cameras.
Yeah, and I just use the video button on there.
Oh, see, I've never in my life I've been vlogging since 2008. I've never videoed without seeing myself. Like I can't imagine how you guys do that. I would go crazy.
I'm the exact opposite. That's a fun fact. I've never vlogged being able to see myself. So now I think like if I did see myself, I would get distracted by myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like.
What you do is you stare at the screen. So like even now I'm looking at myself in the bottom corner here. And so
looking at the camera.
Where you can see it would be even a little distracting. But it would be nice to be able to see what's being filmed.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot when you can see yourself, because then you know if you're in focus, you know what's in the frame, you know if you're being photobombed behind you. I don't know.
So that's why I was like, all these, you all seem to know what you're talking about, and that's why it's because they're picture cameras.
Yeah.
This is a video camera.
And for Canon, the number on the camera is right here. Like for most.
Because I'm like, this is a Canon. There's no numbers. Yeah. Oh. Got it.
I think most people usually just buy a camera nowadays because all the cameras have, the picture cameras all have video, right? Yeah. I think that kind of the single video camera only is sort of, I think it is kind of outdated now at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, it does HD, so that's all I
Well,
care about.
it's working for you, Amy.
If it
It's
works,
working.
yeah, go with what works, honestly. I use these because if I drop it, they're not like a fortune to replace. And I have had to replace cameras because I've dropped them. So,
Oh, maybe it's a cost thing too. I don't know what those cost.
yeah, because these are only, $100 to $200. I mean, the,
Oh, okay.
moderate range ones. So it's a less expensive entry price for sure.
The thing with the Canon Power Shots, though, is that they only film for a certain amount of time. They only film like 10 minutes, which is way more than you should really need, but I always find myself having to re-record the end of videos because I don't have, because I've taken up all the time that my camera has space
Oh,
for.
I take forever when I edit a video. I mean, my videos are 2 minutes, but I video forever because I'm always messing up, and yeah, that would be hard.
Yeah.
What I started doing is I use the timer on my phone and I set it for 9 minutes because my DSLR only does 10 minutes too. So I have my timer go off at 9 minutes, so I cut myself off and then just reset the camera because obviously talk longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's why at the end of every video, Diane is like, and and bye.
And bye.
Just joking.
I know. It's gonna cut me off.
Okay.
Pretty much.
It looks like Rachel from Carly and Nicole Elliott on Twitter, she says that she has a remote for her DSLR, but she can't get it to work. So it is
I
sometimes
love
hard
a
to
remote.
do the
That's awesome.
settings for the remote. Yeah, it can get pretty hard.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And it looks like Tyne from LaAva's mom, you're getting called out to get onto Twitter, so you better get over there, girl. And let's see, what is the next question? Diana, do you want?
There
Oh
is
wait,
another
is there any more
great
camera?
question.
Is there
Go
camera
ahead.
questions or computer? Any more camera questions? Let's do that first.
One more camera question, and Cindy in the Facebook group asks, what makes a camera have better quality? So, I mean, I think probably the same answer for
Okay,
all of them.
this is
I
like a
don't know.
super techie question.
Yeah. I mean, Amy, that might be different for the video camera, but the Canons just all have settings. You just go into the menu and you can, change the rating up and down. Take it into different HD levels and all that sort of thing.
This is really complicated, the one I have. I mean,
Well,
it does so much that
Yeah.
you
Well,
don't
I would
need
say
all
the
that.
widescreen, if you get the widescreen, I think that's important because I used to have the flip, like you were saying, Heidi. I had like one of those old flips, and it didn't have the wider screen.
So we'll show the
and
bars.
it still was okay with upload, but when I was filming, it didn't. I don't know. It just was pretty close. The shot was like this as opposed to being further out. If that makes sense.
Especially when you're vlogging and it's only as far as your arm can go. If you got that smaller screen like the flips had, it was like this, so close.
Right, like you felt like it was like up here in your face, like everybody was really close.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yes. Okay. All right. Any other ideas? Jackie, how about you for tech questions? If you're looking to buy a camera, what would be some good things to look for?
I think, if you're going for the DSLRs, then maybe the lens, like there are different lenses, like, Diana was saying. But maybe the only thing I think of is like the pixels on the camera. Like I have this one that's 10 pixels, but then there's one that's like 16. So maybe if you have a higher pixel, then it might be better quality. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yep. That's a good one to think of. Yep.
I had a DSLR question. So is the sound, like I don't know anything about DSLRs. Does the sound go directly into the camera or do you have to record that separately somehow and fix it in post?
It's in the camera. There's a microphone, and then you can even buy microphones that are even better quality that attach to it. Just like you can buy extra lighting to go on top of your camera. I originally bought the camera for photography, and then next thing I know, I started making videos with it. So, yeah. But it does the sound itself.
And then you have to manually focus it, right?
You can do auto. There is an auto option. So usually I do auto and then I'll switch it over to manual. That way it doesn't keep going in and out while I'm filming because it makes that clicking noise every time it tries to focus on my face.
Yeah, so don't leave it in auto because you won't be able to use the video because the camera just sits there and goes wah, 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 wah the whole time you're moving around.
Good to know.
Had that mistake happen
And I
a couple
see.
years ago.
Yeah. Plenty of
Um,
times.
So Christina from the Twitter team, she sent in that Mandy on Twitter, she wrote that the camera she always wanted was the T3i, but now she's wondering if she should bump up to the T5i, and is there any major differences? And I don't know what the T5i has. Do you know, Jackie? You don't have that camera, I guess, but...
Well, I don't. I originally wanted the T3i. That's the one I wanted, but last Black Friday, this Nikon was half off, so I was like, I can't, pass it up because it's almost double the price normally than that Canon. So I went ahead and got this one. But honestly, I don't think the body of the camera is that big of a deal. You can get even a cheaper Canon, like just the T3, and just buy better lenses to go on the camera. So,
Perfect advice. I like that.
But does the T5i have the flip-out screen that you were talking about, Dana?
I think they both do, because I have the T3i, and that has the flip-out screen.
Oh, it does. Okay.
But make sure it does before you get it. It's important, I think. Okay, so let's move on to talk about computers. So we'll just go through quickly and say what computer we have. And Amy, what kind of computer do you use for your editing and everything?
Well, I have a Dell Inspiron, but it's not a good enough computer for editing. So my husband's a computer guy, and he did a bunch of stuff to it to make it work really well.
Okay, lucky girl.
So he put in like 8 GB RAM and a whole new sound, or what did he say? Solid state hard drive. I don't know. He just did a whole bunch of stuff to it, and it was like $400, but it's like it works like a dream now. So
awesome.
Yeah. I do have to say, I've had 3 computers that I bought that came here that I hated. I sent them all back because I just cannot get rid of my Dell. I love it too much. I'm sure you're all Mac girls too, right?
I don't know. We'll see.
Diana, everybody I meet's a Mac girl.
Go ahead, Diana. What do you have?
I'm a Mac convert. I use a MacBook Pro and iMovie to edit. Yes.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah, let's just throw that in there. What do you use to edit, Amy? What's your editing program?
Power Director.
Okay. All right. Heidi, what do you got going on?
I was editing on a PC that my husband built and using Movie Maker, and I wanted to rip my hair out with it. So I finally managed to get a MacBook. I got my MacBook Air, which I love, and I do it on iMovie, and it's a lot more intuitive. I love it.
Okay. Jackie, how about you?
I have a Dell as well as Amy. However, my dad built my previous computer, so I understand what it's like to have your own personal computer. So he actually just built my husband a computer, so I switch over between computers whenever I'm downloading. It kind of depends on what camera I used, trying to spread out all of the videos between the 2 computers. And then I use the Movie Maker right now, but I definitely want to upgrade. I know Adobe Cloud has something. I don't know if it's the Power Direct or another one of those type editing, but I definitely want to upgrade my editing software.
Can I just say something quick? With my Dell Inspiron, when I was using Power Director, it just wasn't powerful enough for it, so it would always just shut down or it would skip, and I was having so much problems. So I thought it was I didn't know it was the computer. I thought it was the Power Director, and I was like hating Power Director. And then since Andy like fixed or made my computer better, it works like perfect. So it's just something to think about.
Good to know, yeah.
Okay, and I had a PC, I had a Dell for years, and so I've used I actually think I used almost every single like free PC editing program. Like I used the Windows, the Live program, what is it again, Jackie, that it comes with?
Movie Maker.
Movie Maker. I've used that, and I used Wondershare and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then last year, I did go and get a MacBook Pro. So I have a MacBook Pro now, and it was a stiff kind of learning curve for me after being a PC girl for so long. But I really do love it now, and now my editing software is Camtasia, so I'm using Camtasia Studio to edit, and I like it because it has the screen capture on it and everything. So I know that we have some editing program questions and also computer questions. So do you want to read that off, Diana, from the Facebook group?
Say, Dana, just quick. You know, when
Yeah.
you bought your computer, I had it in the cart in Amazon. I was gonna buy that same computer. You probably remember when I have
Yeah, I
it.
remember.
And I thought it came with a really good editing program.
It comes with iMovie.
Yeah, is that not good enough?
iMovie was hard for me, and I guess when you get used to it, then it's fine. But I tried using iMovie, and it actually really gave me. It just was so frustrating. I couldn't get it like the way I wanted it to be. And so I went back and got Camtasia for Mac because that was what I was
Okay.
comfortable with. You
Oh,
know,
so
when you
Camtasia
use
is what you used on.
Camtasia, you can get for PC or Mac. So I
Okay.
had the PC version for like 6 months on our PC before I got the Mac, and then I just got it for Mac too. So
That's nice.
I had used Camtasia like briefly as well on the PC, and it is very nice. Like, it's a very nice program. I do like iMovie, but you're right. It took a while to get it all figured out. And when we switched over, I was like, I don't get this. But now that I get it, I love it so much more than I loved it my PC. I can edit a video in like 2 minutes now.
I know a lot of people love iMovie. They really love it. But for whatever reason, every time I went to pull in a video clip, it was like taking forever, and I couldn't figure out how to split up all of my clips and line them up, and I was getting so frustrated. But it just takes practice.
Through iPhoto? Were you putting it in?
Yeah, I
into
was.
iPhoto?
Yeah. But it was just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm sure I was not doing it right. Maybe, you know, everything has a learning curve, and I just got too frustrated and just went back to my good old Camtasia. I just like the name. It sounds magical. I don't know. Camtasia sounds like Fantasia.
It
there
does.
You go,
I'm
Diana.
waiting for Mickey to jump out from behind you.
I'm trying to make you a convert.
I love it. Well, we did have a number of questions. People were definitely interested in editing, you know, in relation to the whole computer thing. And we also had a question about what computers PCs specifically, people recommend. It sounded like a lot of people said Dells. If you're not on a MacBook, is that what people would recommend for a good editing computer? Let me go up.
It needs to be really powerful. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So it really
business
matters.
computer.
Stacy Lee from Lovely Life, she asked, she's in the market for a new computer. So if you're on PC, tackle this one, because I have a MacBook, so I'd say MacBook all the way. But
Amy, you want to answer that?
It's the business. We have found that the business computers is where they just seem better for editing and stuff. But I don't know. Too bad Andy's not here.
We need to have a hangout with Andy. Just get him in here, and he can just like.
He knows all, because I've been through so many computers. So he knows all about them.
I remember that from the PC days, though, because it really does matter, like, you know, the memory, and you have to, like, if it doesn't have enough, you have to just build into it, because it needs the memory space and the faster processor, and so it's really about what it has. And I would say, like, having a fast processor would definitely make a difference in rendering the videos. So I would look.
And like with Dell, you can go in there and just customize it before you buy it. So you don't have to personally open your computer up and do it. You can just add whatever RAM you want, add whatever onto your package thing.
So Amy, what you should do is have Andy come in and make a comment and let everyone know what his suggestions would be for the different speeds and everything.
I know, I should go ask him right now. He's upstairs.
He can do it after the hangout, anytime after the hangout. Put a comment in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say, this is Andy on behalf of Amy.
Ken builds our PC too, and that was the biggest thing that he likes about it. He's a total PC guy, but that you can go in and add memory later, or add faster processing, that kind of stuff, which you really can't do with a Mac. In fact, within a week of getting this MacBook Air, I've completely filled up the space on it. I have to empty it onto a external hard drive.
Oh, that's not good.
That's the one tip I would say if you have a MacBook is get an external.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have an external hard drive as well.
Yeah.
Me too. I have 2 of them, so I have 2 terabytes of external drives because I don't delete anything.
Yeah.
I just always need the clips later. I always want to like if I'm making a montage video, or if I decide I want like to make a video without any kind of branding on it, because a lot of my videos maybe I'll put like, you know, throughout the months as they pass, I change my branding that I put in my videos. So I'm like, oh, I want the unedited version of my original video, so I can pull out that clip and put it in another video. So. It's probably bad, but I save everything. Just everything I save.
You're a video hoarder.
I am. I am.
She's just gonna have this line of terabyte drives behind her one day.
Yep. Oh my goodness. I'll probably get like a safety deposit box or something too, just for my external drives. One day I'll be like,
we want to get
they
a
must
safe
be
for ours.
protected.
I have 2, but
safe.
I back one up always, so I have one as the backup of the other.
There you go. See, you're kind of a hoarder too
Yeah.
then. If you're backing them up, back up to the backup.
No, you should do that. We dropped our external hard drive and lost everything on it.
Oh.
So you should, like, everything. Our wedding and Ken's proposal, everything. So get 2 and put them on 2 separate ones, or it'll be gone forever.
Oh, wow. This Hangout's making me nervous. Can you imagine? Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Did you
Or
have them uploaded on YouTube? I mean, do you still have them on YouTube?
Or on a
we have
video.
the vlogs. We have the vlogs on YouTube, and we have, you know, other stuff from the HeidiKim TV channel.
But his proposal?
The proposal and the wedding are just gone.
Oh.
They were never on like a DVD or anything?
We have a sound, like a CD of the sound, and that's it.
But no, like video, like a DVD.
No.
Oh.
And we had video from like before we were married and our honeymoon. It was appropriate video from our honeymoon. And all kinds of stuff that's just gone.
That's too bad.
So tragic, and that's the reality of having a toddler and a fragile external hard drive.
So what do we learn from this? Upload everything to YouTube as a backup.
Even if it's on private.
Yeah, make it private, because then you can always pull that video back off of YouTube if you need to. Because I actually have all the kids, like a lot of their like detailed birth videos unedited on YouTube as private, so that way I can pull them down later if I ever need to. So I kind of put that there. But yeah, okay. I forget what we were talking about now.
We're talking about editing and editing
you know
programs.
What? Christina, subfertile frugalista.
Good job.
She said the 10-minute recording limit is actually something you can fix with settings. I did it a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the SD card. I'll try to find the YouTube tutorial I used to do it.
Who
But
knew?
I can record for as long as I want with my T3i.
Wonder if that works with the Nikons.
Wow.
Or a power shot.
Right.
Thank you. We'll have to.
Yeah, I have a
check in on
T3i too, and I can record as long as I want. There's no limit. So maybe it's your Nikon, or
Well,
what do you?
I can record unlimited minutes also, so I don't
Okay.
know.
I don't know. It's just something with
It's
Diane and Heidi.
With your point and shoot?
Not with my point and shoot. I haven't tried it really because I never film long videos on that camera. So maybe I'm not sure about the point and shoots. But the DSLRs, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, usually, I think the most I've ever filmed was 15 minutes anyways, but
Mhm.
yeah.
You are much shorter-winded than I am.
Me too. I started to say maybe the limit's a good thing for me. I should probably just keep it on there. 40 minutes later.
Okay, is there another question, Diana?
Angela from Angela's Happy Family asks, what filters do you normally use on your editing program, if any? Does anyone use any filters? I don't. So I just throw that puppy in there and edit it and process it.
I don't. I wish I had some, really, maybe sometimes. A nice smoother or something. But no, there's nothing. I don't put any filters on mine. Does anybody?
No. Sometimes I'll adjust the light of it. Like if it's vlogging and we're filming in the dark, I'll go in and just adjust the color. But I don't even know if they have filters.
Like my editing program does. You can make it look softer and all that, but I just don't do it because I just look the way I do and don't want to look like altered.
You don't want to be green, Amy? You don't want to be green?
That was, yeah, no.
I'm kidding.
I don't
And
adjust it there, but I do adjust like the lighting setting on my actual camera. So
Okay.
like I kind of turn it up a little bit so it makes it look brighter in the room when I'm filming. And I find that that really helps me. So if I just kind of turn up my lighting, like it's the brightness or whatever, that setting, if I just
Exposure.
make it, yeah, I make it like a 1 instead of a 0, and then it helps to make everything look brighter. So that's the only thing that I do.
Your
But
videos are
that's,
nice and bright too, so that's a good tip, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So
It
just
always looks
adjust that
sunny at your
setting.
house. It does. It always looks super sunny.
And it's not. It's not always sunny. That's my secret. Don't tell anybody. Okay. Well,
All
now
right.
it's out.
It's out there now. It's out there. Another question, the last question about editing and editors. Jen and Zoe ask, does the editor you use affect the quality of what it looks like after it's gone onto YouTube? So, like if you edit an iMovie versus Windows Movie Maker, I mean, obviously the titles are going to look different, but do you guys think that it affects the quality of your video?
No.
Yeah, well, on my
You think it does?
on my editing program, it does. Like, for years, I just recently figured out how to do HD video that works on YouTube because YouTube wasn't allowing me to upload in AVI, it was, I think, or something. But you have all these settings, and you have to choose the right one to have the best quality. And you can choose the quality, like 720. You know what I'm talking about, Dana?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
I
you can
think
choose
that
the
a lot
quality.
of that too is when you're saving. Like I noticed in Movie Maker, when you go to save it to the computer, you can also choose to save it in high definition. So maybe
Right.
it's not necessarily the program, but of how you're saving it. I don't know.
Or
Yeah, I can-
like for
yeah.
me, it's how I'm producing the video.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
that's it. I think that's the answer, like how you produce it or, quote, save it, and what
Yeah.
settings you choose when you go to save it, and then how it's going to turn out. So whether it's going to be optimized for YouTube viewing, whether it's going to be in HD, when you go to save it, that's when you usually choose those settings, and you have to make sure you're picking the right one to make it be better quality. Because I know that was one question about like somebody was filming and they have the black bars on the side, every time they upload to YouTube, and that's because when you go to save it, you have to make sure I think it's 1280 by 720 is your frame size. So you want to make sure that you're, producing your video in that size. 'Cause I know in my editor, there's like a canvas setting, so I can pick the 1280 by 720, and that's the size my screen will be. So you want to make sure you adjust that within your editor, or when you go to produce it, you're picking the right size. But also, if you're filming like with your phone, you want to make sure you hold it this way as opposed to this way, because if you film it this way, you're going to get those black bars, right? As
There's
opposed to
nothing
this
really
way.
you can do about it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was
There's
Nadine. So Nadine, try exporting it in a different format and see if that helps take away the bars.
And
from
the
your
other thing
Facebook
too,
group.
I noticed that sometimes YouTube will say that it's shaky, and they ask, do you want to stabilize it? And if you click that, it puts the bars on the site also.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know if
interesting. I
anyone's
never
used
clicked that.
Mhm.
That's
So,
And
good to
sometimes it messes
yeah,
it
so
up.
I
It makes
don't.
it look worse than it did,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't use it because I tried it once and I was like, oh, I'm not going to use that. I'm like,
Yeah.
if it's shaky, it's shaky. That's fine.
And it says that with a lot of videos, even if it's not really that bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It'll also, if you have any still shots in your video, it will make it shake if you stabilize it. Like if you have just a picture, it'll just wobble when you do it within YouTube.
Okay. I was trying to read tweets.
I'm
So
doing
is
the
there
same
another?
thing. I'm reading in the Facebook
I know,
group
I'm
trying to find
read.
the last minute questions.
Okay, so I see some comments on here. So maybe if there's one more question we can highlight, that would be good. Diana, if you find one more question. If not, that's okay. So let's see here. I see Tanisha Lynn says that she plans on switching over to a Mac soon. And let's see, Melissa from GC Homeschool, she says that she uses a Toshiba laptop and uses a video pad to edit. All right. Okay. So those are some of the comments here. I'm scrolling through. It looks like Julia, she is here from ZKT8EF. She says that she loves pit bulls. So that's good. She'll check out your Pitbull channel if she hasn't already, I'm sure, Jackie. All right, one more question. Do you got it?
Okay,
Diana?
let's roll these in from the Facebook group because they're good questions to go out on, and it's kind of like the same idea. So Cindy asks, what goals do you have in mind when you're editing a vlog in respect to, getting all these things worked out? And Amanda Britt asks, I'd love to know what tips in all of these areas, cameras, editing, computers, etc. What's like the master combo? Like, what's the best way to improve your quality and improve your output of the videos as a whole? So.
Okay, so I think that was basically when you go to edit, what's maybe some tips you have that you do to make your video turn out good? What's your go-to, your first boom, boom, boom things you do, right?
Right,
Is that
right.
Okay. So I know for me, I take out all of the silences. So that's number one. So I just kind of expand it in my line at the bottom, so it kind of makes the video, go, so I can see. And my editor actually shows the blips or whatever for the sound, for the audio, so I can see just by visually looking where the flat lines are, so I can see where it's, silence or whatever. So I kind of go through and remove all those so that I cut out all the silences. That's the first thing I do. Because I feel, I know, and the beginning is really important, I think, to pay attention to the beginning of your video, because people have a 10-second attention span. So within that 10 seconds of your video, they're going to decide whether they want to watch your video or click off of it. So it's so important within the first 10 seconds to have something that, either you're right into the content or, something that's really funny or interesting right within the first 10 seconds. You kind of want to get right into it. So I try to do that too. So it's just an instantaneous, right away I'm talking. So those are my sort of things. How about you, Heidi? What are some things you do when you go to edit?
So one of the biggest things that I do is cut out the that I just said. Go in and go through all of the ums and cut those out. And I also, when I'm filming, try to think about editing. And if I'm filming and I said something and I don't like the way I said it, I take a pause and try to remember, if two sentences flowed into each other, start over from the sentences that started to flow into each other so I can cut the whole thing out when I messed up. And then the other thing that I like to look at when I'm doing the daily vlogs is the length of time that each clip is. So my husband has a tendency to film 5 minutes straight of him talking, but he can get to the point in 1 minute. So I go through and see where all the longest clips are, and I start with the longest section. This is just for daily vlogs, but start with the longest section and watch it and say, okay, how short can I cut this? How many times did he repeat himself? And I do the same thing, but I can usually summarize it into 30 seconds.
Ken.
I know. He doesn't know. He doesn't do the editing. So those are the first things that I do. And then obviously going in and adding an end screen and any intro stuff or music or anything like that. That's the last thing that I do.
I think Dana's frozen.
You.
Oh,
Am I back now?
On you.
Frozen.
Okay.
Frozen.
I think I'm back now.
There you are.
No. Okay. Jackie, how about you? When you go through to edit, what are some things that you do?
Pretty much everything that you guys said. The first thing, I edit, so I'm talking right away, or there's a funny clip or something. And then I try to keep all of my videos 5 minutes or less, just because I know me personally, I don't want to sit there and watch a 15-minute video. So it's okay, I know I want to do that. So sometimes I'll either cut a lot out or I'll speed up what I'm doing. So some of my cooking videos, I just speed up of what I'm doing and then I'll add music over it. So, I mean, those are kind of some of the things that I do. But pretty much just take out the ums and the so's and the dead air. But yeah, keep them short and sweet.
Diana, do you have anything to add that we haven't mentioned that you would do?
No, I mean, it's really about the same. I mean, take out those spaces. I look back at my old videos, and there's definitely those longer pauses where, you could take out those space, and it just keeps it moving. When I do the daily vlogs, I do the same thing where I try to limit the amount of time that I'm taking for each clip, and I even really try to limit it just to try to keep those vlogs moving, 30 seconds to a minute. And if I start talking, I try to cut myself off around a minute because otherwise I can sit there and obviously talk forever. So, you know, I try to limit those clips because then you run into the situation on the back end with editing where you have so much you have to cut down and then it takes a lot longer. So I've started trying to cut that down a little bit.
Diana, do you have like a distinct amount of time that you try to make those daily videos too?
I try to limit the clips. Like if we're doing something, I try to limit clips to 20 to 25 seconds, like, you know, little spurts throughout the day. And then when I put them all together, I mean, realistically for me, I'm trying to get my daily vlogs down to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I said trying. Because they've been upwards of 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm trying to get them in that 10 to 15 minute range, or 10 to 12. I'm trying to get them down there, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking when Jackie was talking too, because I do try to keep it under 5, and then with the daily vlogs, I always try to get to 10, but I never can. And my rule is it can't be over 13. If it's 13 and 1 second, I've got to find 1 second somewhere to cut.
I feel like 10 to 12 is the
agree.
sweet spot. I really do for daily vlogs. You know, like for the day in the life. To be a full, like if it's a full rotation day, not just like little clips. If it's a full rotation, that's the sweet spot for me. And if I go over that, there's a lot of stuff that could be cut out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Amy, how about you? Is there anything you do in editing?
I do everything you guys say. The only thing different I do is something kind of silly. But when you know how you're talking and you mess up or whatever and you got to start over, I like do a crazy like face or something like this so that when I'm editing, I see it and I know, okay, I just go straight to that and I'm like, cut that out so I know where I start.
Oh, you have to make a video of all your crazy faces. That would be so funny.
My hands always have to be up, like doing something.
Yeah. I forgot I've done that before, like to let yourself know to cut it. Yeah.
I want to see like a year of crazy faces all together.
And I get really close to the camera.
It would be so fun, you in different outfits making these crazy faces.
I should. That's funny.
That's actually a good idea, though, because I'm finding myself re-watching the whole video, and it's like it takes me so much time to edit because I'm like re-watch a video like 10 times, I feel like. So if you could,
we'll all be doing crazy faces.
yeah.
The other night, Ken offered to edit the vlog, and he was up until 1 in the morning doing it. And I was like, what were you doing? He's like, I was trying to get it shorter. I rewatched it 11 times.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. You're like, feel my pain. This is
That's what you do to me every time you talk for 5 minutes.
The only other thing I would say about the editing is that I noticed with myself over time as a YouTuber, in the beginning I used to go crazy with like special effects, right? With like putting like little like text bubbles up or music, and I did a lot of that. And then the more I've been a YouTuber, the less I do that, which is interesting. Because in the beginning, I thought, in the beginning, you think I want to be like a professional. I'm going to make this really fancy. But then, like, you actually get the longer you do it, the more you just get rid of all that stuff. And I feel like part of it is like now I realize this because I want my videos to be timeless. For years from now, I still want my videos to be relevant. And so by putting too much music in, sometimes you kind of date your video if it's music that maybe later on won't be as hip or cool anymore, or that your text or your speech bubbles might kind of look weird in 5 years. I don't know, but
I used to do like big things around me. Borders is bad.
Yeah, there you go.
See, I did the opposite. I didn't edit at all.
Okay,
I would have
started,
like 40-minute videos.
I think that's better than doing all the. I used to have. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, the special effects I think can be too much, and people don't. I didn't realize that when I started. It was a mistake that I made. Yeah,
I think a lot of people do that.
Right. But okay. I think that's going to do it. I think that we probably could go on another 2 hours about this topic, but I have to cut it off. So I want to say thank you to everybody, especially to our Twitter team for being on Twitter, and to Crystal from Brought to You by Mom, and also to Anne-Marie from It's Just My Life CA for being the Twitter team leads. I appreciate you guys doing that, helping to rally everybody, and helping me out with that, as well as the other 8 members. So again, go to YouTubeMommyMeetup.com/Twitter if you want to read all about that. that, as well as how you could maybe be on the Twitter team one day. And also, I want to give everyone a chance here to go ahead and give us a little plug where people can go to find you. So Jackie, we'll start with you. Where can everybody go if they want to find you?
Yeah, you can just go to enjoyinglifesjourney.com and it will take you right to my YouTube channel.
Okay. Do you have Twitter too? I guess all your links are on your site, right?
Well, so yeah, on Facebook it's just Enjoying Life's Journey, and then Twitter I just set it up 2 days ago. Same thing. I'm kind of clueless, but if you want to go check it out, I don't know how active I'll be on there. It's J Enjoying. That's basically what they would let me have. So.
Okay. Perfect. And Heidi, where can everybody go to find you?
You can go to youtube.com/user/channel/HeidiKimTV for my parenting channel, and then for daily vlogs, our channel is Sudden Kimpact. And then if you want to follow us on Twitter, I am Sudden Kimpact, and Ken is Ken and Little Cub, and then Instagram is Heidi C. Kim, and the Ken and Little Cub, and then on Facebook I am HeidiKim TV, and HeidiKim TV is like my last name on it.
Okay, perfect. And Diana, where can everyone go to find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/beingmommywithstyle, Instagram beingmommywithstyle, and if you're looking for me on Facebook, I do have the Facebook fan page, but you can also search for Diana with Style, and hopefully you'll be able to find me there too.
Okay. Amy?
I am at Dreamflight 6000.
Okay.
Everywhere. Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay. Dreamflight 6000 everywhere. And I am Dana, Miss Diaper D from the Diaper Dirt channel. And you can listen to me at the Diaper Dirt podcast. And you can also find all of us at the YouTube Mommy Meetup podcast. Make sure to go and subscribe to that podcast. You can listen to these Hangouts as opposed to just watching them if you're in your car. And if you are listening, we appreciate you doing so. And we'd love it if you would go and leave us a review on iTunes, because those reviews really do help. So thanks again to everybody for being here, everybody in the comments, everybody on Twitter, and we'll be back again in 2 weeks. But until then, you can hit us up on Facebook at the Facebook group YouTube Mommy Meetup. All right, so thanks everyone. Bye.